second half on Pure West Sport with Eaton-Evans and Morris Solicitors. Good to be with you tonight. We are live on social media where you can watch along and you can listen in all the usual places on the PWR app, on your smart speakers, on the website and on DAB digital radio across the county. And coming up tonight, we'll review all of the football action from the weekend just gone, including Pembrokeshire Senior Cup wins for Monkton, Goodwick and Clarby Road. And we'll look ahead to the quarter-final draw and a Friday night victory as well for Haverfordwest County on the road in Llanelli to mention. In part two this evening, that's when we'll talk rugby. Our special guest will be Daryl Willington from Pembroke RFC. He will help us dissect a dramatic weekend of Six Nations action as Wales go so close. England falter again, and can anyone stop France? And a bit later on in the show, we'll pay tribute to the brilliant Sean Bowen as he made it an amazing 200 wins for the season with success at Voslas at the weekend. All that and plenty more to come on Pure West Sports this Monday evening. So thank you for listening and being with us in the studio. Gordon Thomas, how are you?
I'm very good. Been another wet Saturday, but we did manage to get some football on. And, you know, we talk about WRU crisis. Is there a crisis in the RFU in England? And I don't know.
I know.
Two games on the bounce. What's going on?
They'll have to cut the number of clubs there.
I think so, right? I think
Chaps,
so.
I'm looking forward to part two because it has been a bit hard work talking about Wales in the Six Nations. I thought it was going to be even better, but at least when Daryl joins us in part two, there are some bits of positivity we can take from that game in Cardiff. A phrase, we'll take that right now, right?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, it was a step forward in terms of performance, but maybe a sense of inevitability about those late tries as well. But like you say, we'll come on to that in part two.
And as Gordon said, the weather did impact with the football. We're going to get into the Senior Cup stories in a second. There really were plenty, weren't there? For you, Fraser, you fell victim to the weather. You were at one of those games, weren't you, that didn't get the go-ahead, unfortunately?
Yeah, that's right. Initially scheduled for Goodwick Bridge. Circumstances took me to Fishguard, Kilgetty, and as I arrived, pitch inspection was going on. It was clear that both sets of teams weren't in full agreement, and I saw the referee walking off, and I knew it was coming. So I was home in time for the rugby, which was a bonus. But no, unfortunately, it was a vital game at the bottom, that Fishguard Kilgetty, actually, in terms of the relegation fight. It's just non-stop. Ben, midday, the pitch was past fit to play. Gordon will tell you the same torrential downpours between 12 and 2. The gods are against Pembrokeshire football, Pembrokeshire sport at the moment, that's for sure. But there were some games played in the Cup, you're right.
Did you get a look at the pitch, Fraser? How was it looking by the time they did that pitch inspection?
Flooded.
Was it?
Yeah, can't deny that.
Yeah, okay. Gord, you managed to see some football, I think, didn't you?
Yeah, went to the all-weather surface. That helps. And to the Pembrokeshire Sports Village, where Merlin's Bridge took on Goodwick United, who had been beaten in the West Wales Cup the week before. But they certainly got things right on Saturday with an excellent win against the Bridge. 7 goals in the process. And then I nipped to Clarby Road to watch them play Division 2 rivals Johnson in the Senior Cup with the Bridge 2 up when I got there. And Matthew Ellis scored with a header. I don't think I've ever known him score a header in his career. Fair play, but they won comfortable as well against Johnson. They won 6-2.
There were rumours in the week, or totally unconfirmed, of course, but you know, rumours swirl around here that the Middlesbrough were going to move Goodwick onto the grass, actually, to try and level it out. That option was certainly taken away, wasn't it? If the game was going to be on at all. But,
well, let's carry on a bit with that game, and then we'll get to the other big story, because actually it's not been an easy season for Goodwick this season. They've had some struggles in the league, haven't they? Certainly compared with recent years. But that was quite a statement win for them in the Senior Cup, Fraser. And I think you've always tipped them in cup competitions, haven't you?
I mean, for context, they've drawn too many games in the league. It's actually, in terms of defeats, they've only lost once. I think it's still one league defeat in 70-odd games. I think people maybe overlook that. You know, whilst they haven't had the amount of wins they've needed to keep pace at the top so far, they're incredibly hard to beat still. I think that was a surprise, going to Garden Village and losing like that, you know, because they're so well vested and their mentality is so well honed in those cup competitions. And they were obviously stung by that. You know, talking to Matt Fox in the first hour on the show, he said, and it was almost season on the line, really, for them on Saturday. We've got to that point, and that's a statement win. I thought it'd be a difficult game for them at Bridge. We've talked about the close games they've had already this season. Bridge, by all accounts, were a lot more impressive against Hakin than the eventual 3-0 scoreline suggested. And Bridge's season was on the line as well. And I expected them to put up a fight. And I think, Matt Fox, we spoke to, Nigel Delaney, obviously manager, and Niall Kinsler, be delighted to go there. You talk about the cup and it's all about being in the hat. But to go there and make that statement win and to put that tie to bed like that was significant. And Millers Bridge would be disappointed, to be honest with you. I don't want to comment on the red cards without seeing them myself, but that's
it didn't help matters. Getting 2 players sent off within a minute, and they're experienced boys, Matthew Dibry and Nathan Evans.
It's the second big game in a few weeks now where Bridge will finish with 9 players or less. Now, if your manager Mike Preddy, you've got to be disappointed with that. All those red cards aren't going to be coincidences. They're not going to be bad decisions. You're not giving yourself a chance if you're finishing games with 8-9 men.
And Goodwick stormed through, and we'll look ahead to who they play in the quarterfinals. They'll feel the competition is opening up a bit for them. And the reason for that, Gordon, I'll come to you first for some reaction.
Yeah.
And Fraser will have something to say as well. The reason for that, the team we've tipped really to be the team to watch in the cup competitions, Hakin going so well in the league. I don't think any of us saw a defeat coming, although maybe we were being a bit dismissive of Monkton, who've also had a really good season. But that was a fine win for them, 3-0 at the weekend.
Great win, and it is good to see that as well, to be honest with you. Hakin have had their own way for practically all season. They've run away with the league title, still in the West Wales Cup, which they're the holders, and they're the holders of the Senior Cup. Monkton, I saw them playing at the Obs only, about 6 weeks ago, and they put up a good performance, but Hakin had too much quality, and they just blew them away. I think they won 4-1. But I like everybody else, I didn't see that result coming, and no disrespects to Monkton Swifts. They went there and they did an excellent job. I've been told Hakin had chances and they didn't take them, but Taylor Gillum had an excellent game in goal for them. And when Monkton had their chances,
Paul Miller just for half time.
Paul Miller scored. They put them away, and that's an excellent cup result. But that isn't winning the Senior Cup.
No,
they've still got to go and play Tenby next. That's not going to be easy either.
I think
that they'll want to push on from this, and they had disappointment only a few seasons ago playing in the final against Goodwick.
That's right,
where they got blown away quite early. Rhys Jones scored 4 goals in that particular game. They'll want to put that ghost to rest to get to the final. It was an interesting result on Saturday, to say the least.
I think if you're Monkton, you've got to have a feeling it has to be your time now, because you look, they won that league title in 2019, a surprise title win. I think that's fair to say.
Yeah, it was at the time.
In to their credit, we should remember the following season they were in the title race. They were actually in a Senior Cup semi-final when COVID hit. And since then, they've hovered and they threatened in these cup competitions, like you mentioned, the final there, the West Wales Cup last year's semi-finalists as well, without actually getting over the line in one. And there's been no silverware since 2019, and they will eye a big chance now. But Gordon's right, Tenby the same. That's going to be a huge quarter-final. Actually.
It'll be a great quarter-final.
You've probably got 2 sides desperate for silverware. They're desperate to win this cup competition, and one of them's going.
Yes.
Yeah. Hakin will be disappointed with that, though. And just a sign, though, if you do just have an off day, if you maybe don't keep your standards 1 week, you're going to come up against a decent side, and Monkton are going well in second spot, and they really did take advantage. That'll be the lesson that Hakin will take from it. You still can't afford to rest on your laurels in any game.
You sense a quiet confidence about them as well. Speaking to Corey Meyer in the first hour of the show, I was actually with Ben Steele in Plymouth. That's another random story at a youngsters academy tournament last week, and he was coming home for the game. They were certainly keen, they were determined, and there was an air of confidence. And like I said, they felt it was their time. Speaking of Stuart James, twinner as well, who's actually working on the day. So they were confident. Going, then you're right, Ben. That's what you've got to do. That's what good teams do. If the opposition is slip or below par, you've got to take advantage. And they did that. But having said that, I didn't think a Monkton win was out the question. I didn't see 3-0 coming. I'll be honest with you then.
No.
Last time Monkton won the Pembrokeshire Senior Cup, can we either of you remember? How far back are we talking?
We're going back to, I believe, around 2000 and something. Gordon remember.
Yeah, I remember them losing to Penner in about 2005-ish. Monkton losing to their rivals.
That's right.
but it must have been just before that, Ben.
They were well beaten by Hakin in one
yeah.
final. Justin Harding hat-trick for 5-0 2011.
Yeah.
06-07, yeah, they beat Merlin's Bridge to win it 2-1.
Right.
When was that? Early 2000s?
2006-2007 season that was. They haven't won it. That's approaching 20 years since they last won that tournament.
That's amazing, really, a club of their stature as well. And
James McFadden with an early screamer that day.
We heard that in the office a few times.
We did, yeah.
And the other game from the weekend, because St Ishabel's Narberth, unfortunately, was another match that fell victim to the wet weather, so that will be replayed. But Clarberston Road powered through as well, didn't they? Matthew Davis 2, Matthew Ellis, Jake Wesley 2, Richard Bevan 6-2 win over Johnston. That sets up that game with Goodwick. So well done, Clarby, as well. Finalists, of course, very recently.
Winners.
That was
winners against Goodwick recently.
So,
bit of history in that fixture.
It is.
History show in the cup.
Yeah. So St Ishabel's Narberth still to come. Let me just read the quarter final then, as we have it now. So as you've mentioned, Monkton against Tenby. Tishel Narberth will play Saundersfoot and New Hedges. The big game, that Goodwick versus Clarberston Road one, is a really interesting one. And then a real local derby as well. Nayland against Milford United. We're going to talk about local derbies in a sec as well. It's hard to call. You've said is Goodwick's name on it? Is Monkton's name on it? Where do you think the Senior Cup's heading now? Because we're in the quarter-final stage. It's the business end.
I mean, we're talking wide open. Milford United relegated last year and reached a Senior Cup final. Now the opportunity they'll feel to reach a final again as Division 2 team. They'll be favourites, even though they're away to Nayland. I think Milford currently top of Division 2. And you want to face them either. I think they were better than relegation suggested last season. They lost their way in the league, but they'll be a threat as well. In terms of whose name on it, the honest answer, I don't think any names on it at the moment. In terms of form, I don't think there's anyone stand out above the rest there. If they come into the equation and get past Narberth, they'll be a factor as well.
They were the team I fancied in the beginning of the competition, but losing Aaron Hallam, I still see them a threat.
If he could still be back
If he could come back, yes.
But you're talking potentially then, you've got Monkton, Tenby left in it, Goodwick, Tish have all been in that chasing pack in Division 1, if you like, and all been pretty even, throughout the season in terms of league placing. So, no, it's refreshing that I don't think there is a clear favourite. And you won't be getting one of me either tonight.
I wonder whoever comes through that Monkton Tenby tie could be. We might get the winner from that quarter final. Maybe.
You said it.
You said it. We haven't.
All right, I'm just going to start that and just make a note of just maybe. I just feel
maybe.
Monkton will feel, having knocked out Hakin, this is their opportunity.
Of course they will. They'll be confident going into that game. But Tenby as well are a good side. They got some quality players as well. They'll have other ideas, obviously.
I expected Tenby, when I watched them win at Goodwick earlier in the year, to feature more heavily in the title race than they have. I genuinely did. They haven't found the consistency they need. But on their day, they're a very, very good side.
I think the weather hasn't helped any side this season, to be honest with you. It's been a bit stop-start. So in their defence, they probably are feeling a little bit lacking, not having enough game time. And then when you play these games, it's difficult to get that momentum going. But they'll find it. They'll find it against Monkton, or Monkton will find it against Tenby. It'll be interesting. It'll be a cracker of a game, that's for sure.
Okay, we'll stick with us on Pure West Sport, and we'll keep that Senior Cup chat going, because we love that competition. It's exciting now in the quarterfinals. Well, listen, let's hope we get some league action this weekend. Hopefully, a couple of drier days this week might give the pitches time to recover, because it has been a real challenge to get consistency, as Gordon just said. A full programme in Division 1, and actually one of the games we were going to just talk about is very much a local derby, and we've checked it, just under 2 miles between the two clubs. That's Monkton's trip to Penner, so that's going to be a feisty one on Saturday.
Always is. I mean, I think maybe local derbies diluted a bit in recent years. I don't know if Gordon disagrees. Players tend to go back and forth more readily now. It used to be almost sacrilege if you cross certain divides. And Monkton and Penner, of course, with the Weaver Callan Cup, don't they? So they always inevitably meet in pre-season as well. But it'd still be fiery. And there's a lot on it. Penner are in trouble at the moment. They've played more games than the teams below them. They don't want to lose too many more. If Fishguard and Narberth stop picking up points, they'll find themselves in the bottom 2 for sure. So they need a result. Monkton now, they've got players playing for places. They want to keep the intensity up from the win the Senior Cup as well. So, it's one which Monkton Penner, I think, always raises eyebrows. I don't know if Gordon thinks as fierce.
It's always a great derby, that game, to be honest with you, whether it's at Monkton Lane or Bush Camp. both sets of supporters, and there's families playing against each other in those games. It's amazing. It's great banter, great atmosphere, and I have to say it's always played in the right spirit. It doesn't really overspill too much, phrase. It doesn't overspill too much. At the end of the game, it's only a game of football. It's not rugby where you get to
What's your favourite Pembrokeshire football derby?
I actually more through a personal one, through when I first started out with Gordon being working on the old Milford Mercury Sport there. I saw some terrible games between Milford United and Milford Athletic. The Pill Lane pitch, heavy as you like, they would kick lumps out of each other. Awful quality, but proper derby, proper. We're not dying. These are our rivals, and only less than a mile down the road from each other. Again, another one, sadly, that doesn't carry the same meaning now because Athletic have digressed to Division 3, maybe Division 4 side over the last couple of years. But that was one I really enjoyed, if not for the aesthetics.
What about you, Gord? Fishguard Goodwick?
I don't know what Fred is trying to make our Pembrokeshire football's die-hard club or something here. Yeah, these games are tough, but I don't think they go right over the board with it. It's keenly contested, which it should be in any derby game in Pembrokeshire.
They add to the league, don't they, as well?
Fishguard coming back in the top flight's added to that one with Goodwick as well.
Definitely.
There's a one-sided.
Definitely, years,
Yeah, well, I think they definitely add to the league, don't they?
100%.
I think other than the two Milford teams, I mean, that's going to be the closest in terms of ground proximity. I can't think of any other. If you're going out of a town, so Fishguard and Goodwick will be the next one, probably about just under a mile. Saundersfoot, New Hedges and Kilgetty, maybe. Mile or so, 2 miles. There's a few.
Narberth Kilgetty is quite close, I suppose, as well. If you're going to say
I'd say that's about 3 miles.
Carew Tenby, that's not too far apart.
I mean, if
there's a few boys going back and forth.
That's true.
True.
Most of them there was a local derby of sorts on Friday night for Haverfordwest County, Gord, was there not? That game against
your geography.
Your geography, yes, Ben.
That's Pembrokeshire Carmarthenshire one, but that was another good win, wasn't it, for Haverfordwest? Stan Hawkins got the goal, and I was pleased to see that because Stebben Heath's not been an easy venue for Haverfordwest over the last couple of visits, has it? They've struggled a bit there, and I did wonder whether that would happen again. So that was an important win.
Yeah, they're unbeaten, aren't they?
Yeah.
Since the split.
Down now, I believe, as well, taking them
relegated. That game relegated them. Yeah, and it was good to see Corey Shepherd signed a new contract with the Bluebirds, and he's been in excellent form all season, not just this game. He's been on fire, to be fair.
Just at a point where people speculate he'd be looked at in the summer as well. So the timing of that was
they did well to tie him down because he does a lot of travelling in the week to come training and to play as well. They did well to tie Corey down, keep him there.
Yeah, and he pops in goals like he has done recently as well. That's all good. Sunday, I think, St David's Day, the Bluebirds at Flint Town United this Sunday. That's a 2:30 start. So we'll be there, hopefully can extend it to 5 consecutive wins and push for that 7th spot, which would mean potentially another European playoff end of season, which would be really good. All right, that's football done for the time being, and some good stuff there as well locally across Pembrokeshire at the weekend. Darryl Willington is going to join us from Pembroke RFC in just a few moments. As we've done over the last few weeks on Pure West Sport, we're going to reflect on the Six Nations. I think it's going to be a slightly more upbeat chat with Darryl than we've had, because that was better from Wales, although they didn't get it over the line. Where next for England? Because they're staring down 2 consecutive defeats. Can anyone stop France? We'll get all that covered for you. We want your views as well as we talk Six Nations on Pure West Sport next.
Eaton-Evans and Morris Solicitors have traditional